Raider Nation, what's going on? And you're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to break down the top 10 worst Raiders moments. Moments that, well, I wish were a big old April Fool's Day joke. Now, I'm actually going to be putting this video out on Locals before you see it up on YouTube. So remember, if you want exclusive content and if you want videos before they come on YouTube, go ahead and join us over on Locals at RaidersReport.locals.com. That link's going to be available for you all in the comments and in the description of today's video. So the way that this is going to go is I'm going to work my way from 10 all the way down to 1, and I posted yesterday on the YouTube community what were some of the worst moments out there. So I looked at a lot of what y'all said. I just tallied everything up, and we made this top 10 list. Coming in here at number 10, go ahead, spam it down in the comments section. FAB, going out and trading for Antonio Brown. I remember the moment that this happened. I was so excited. You gave up a 3rd and a 5th round pick. Derek Carr finally gets his number 1 wide receiver. You have somebody who put up 6 straight years, over 1,000 yards, over 100 catches, and all the problems were solved. The final year in Oakland, the Raiders were going to have Antonio Brown. And then I showed up Monday Night Football against the Broncos, and I can still hear the chants, FAB. Let's go to number 9 on my list here, and this is, again, of all time, not just since I've been covering the Raiders here at Chat Sports. Bo Jackson's injury is going to be number 9. It's one of the reasons why I wore my Tecmo Bowl shirt. Bo, I will still go ahead and say, is the greatest athlete of all time. For you to be able to be arguably the best running back in your sport, and then also be able to be a all-pro, or what is it called, an all-star for the MLB, just shows how unbelievably talented it was. And I really, truly believe if it wasn't for that hip injury, you could go back and a lot of people would bring up Bo Jackson's name as not only the best Raiders running back of all time, but arguably maybe the greatest running back of all time. So what I want you guys to do is, I know the nation, man, dedicated fan base. We got that commitment to excellence here on the Raiders Report, and I know you guys do too. So how long, what year did you become a Raiders fan? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. Coming up here on my list is number 8. It's Randy Moss to the Patriots. And the reason why this one stings is because Randy Moss, number 1 wide receiver, comes to Oakland, never was a good fit. Then the Raiders go ahead, they trade him over to the New England Patriots for a 4th round pick. The following season, Randy Moss, Tom Brady, they didn't win the Super Bowl, but had a perfect regular season. Randy Moss, 23 touchdowns, the most in a single season by a wide receiver, and it was more of a stab to the back. It's also the fact that he went to the freaking Patriots. At number 7, it's Derek Carr's broken leg. And I, at the time, just started getting into my whole fantasy football gigs, didn't cover the Raiders yet. One of my best friends from college came down to Dallas, Texas, and we were watching the Raiders this season. The Raiders were up 33-14. They were getting ready to coast into the playoffs, and DC goes down. And everyone was like, oh no, oh no. Derek Carr then, in that offseason, went ahead to be the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, 5-year, $125 million deal. But I think we're always going to wonder, if this never would have happened, what would Derek Carr have turned into? Because he might have been the MVP frontrunner in this year. 2017, he struggles. 2018, he struggles. 2019, all right, a little bit better. It really feels like the Raiders were on the up in that 12-4 season, and since then, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Now, I love being able to create content for y'all, and if you haven't already, you can always subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate it. Breaking news, I'll keep you up to date, but I want you also to come join me over on Locals. I did a live show yesterday. You can go ahead and check it out. I said if we get to 1,000 members and 69 supporters, then we're also going to go live today on April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke. We are going to be going live, so if you're watching this on a later date, you're watching this at a later time, you could still join Locals. You're not only going to get videos every single day on YouTube, I'm going to give you at least 1 live a week, 2 exclusive videos. Videos like, I don't know, me eating the hottest chip in the world, my NFL Combine. If you want to be able to DM me, my Instagram is getting bogged down, I'm not going to lie to y'all. And if you want to be able to DM me, talk to me about what's going on in your mind or what's going on with the Raiders, DM me on Locals. How do you do it? At the link that you see below, Raiders Report. .locals.com. Again, that's going to be in the comments and description of today's video. So before we get into the top 5, let's go through the top 10 one more time. Trading for AB, Bo Jackson's injury, Randy Moss of the Pats, Derek Carr's broken leg, I'm bad at math, and then hiring Gruden and Mayock. And some people are like, wow, really hiring Gruden and Mayock? You gave John Gruden 10 years, $100 million fully guaranteed, and they did nothing, realistically. When you talk about it from top to bottom, you brought in Mike Mayock. He's going to be this draft guru. Well, 2019, you drafted Cleveland Ferrell, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram the following year. Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett the following year. Alex Leatherwood. None of those players have been worth a first-round pick as far as I'm concerned. And it's not only that, it's all the trades that Gruden made. It's a lot of the top signings that he ended up making. The Raiders, yes, they went 8-8. They improved each season. But we saw Gruden leaves, Bisaccia takes over, Raiders go to the playoffs. I always had the respect for Gruden. I had respect for Mayock, but you have to really look at how much of a disaster those two running the organization was, and now happily, they're no longer here. Let's go now to number 5, the Immaculate Reception. This might be surprising to some of you. I wasn't around in 1972, and finding a picture of this wasn't all that easy. So I've watched the film. The ball either bounced off Jack Tatum's hands or it hit somebody in the helmet, and then Steelers fullback Frank O'Hara caught it right before the game was getting ready to end, scooped it up essentially, ran it into the end zone, and the Steelers beat the Raiders 13-7. Low-scoring game, but you can see in this picture how close it was to falling to the ground, and if it falls and hits the ground, the Raiders win the football game. So again, that was the best picture, and that's a painting. So it's a long time ago, y'all. So I know a lot of people don't like April Fool's Day. I actually do enjoy it. I've always been a prankster. In fact, my mom, when I was growing up, she used to call me Dennis because I love the shows or movies, Dennis the Menace, and I used to always try to play pranks on people. I like to have a good time. But I also know in sports, people don't like April Fools because you're going to see people who put something out there like, oh, this guy's going to this team, huh, April Fools. That stuff I don't like, but I do like playing April Fool's jokes on my friends. But let me know what you guys think. Y for yes or N for no. Let's go to number 4 here, my worst Raiders moments. And these are also ranked based on the significance of the game in itself. And this is Siragusa sits on Rich Gannon. This was one of the better years I thought that the Raiders had. And I really, truly believe if this doesn't happen, this dirty play, that you might be able to see that the Raiders go on and they could potentially win a Super Bowl. So essentially what happens here is Baltimore Ravens defensive tackle Tony Siragusa was actually fined $10,000, which at that time is a lot of money, for slamming Rich Gannon to the ground in the first half of the AFC Championship game. Now, Gannon was able to come back into this game, but he didn't have the same zip on the ball. It was a dirty hit. He might have broke his collarbone. All I know is the Raiders were a better football team. Yes, that Ravens team was very good. I thought the Raiders were better, and you can't win without your top quarterback, right? At number 3, drafting Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell, when you hear the word NFL bust, you think of Jamarcus Russell. In the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders thought that, you know what, we're going to solve all of our quarterback woes. We're going to take this kid out of LSU. He's big. He can throw a football 70 yards from his knees. What could possibly go wrong? Well, when you look at some of these numbers, he was drafted number 1, got a fat old paycheck, and then he got fat. My favorite story about Jamarcus Russell is the team gave him tapes. Watch the tape. They were blank, and he'd come into practice and say, yeah, I watched them. Now, look, that's never going to happen again because if somebody's handing out VHS tapes, there's maybe another problem in that whole thing going on. But from a career standpoint, number 1 overall pick, okay? 7-18 record, 52.1% completion percentage, 4,083 yards, 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, and that is in 31 games. Yeah. Not great. Jamarcus Russell, a big-time bust. Now, guys, if I missed any of these top moments, or I guess I should say horrible moments, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitter. But this is the day, April Fool's, that is the most important time to make sure that you're following the right people. Ian Rappaport this morning got. So if he's getting got, I get it. You just got to double-check, do your homework. The best way to make sure that you don't get got on April Fools is to hit me up on Instagram. Give me a follow on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. I promise you, I'll keep you up to date and tell you what's good. Let's go to this one. Super Bowl 2002 loss. And I don't remember the number because I'm not good with Roman numerals. But the reason why this one stings is because it's number 37. Shout out to Sam. Is because the Raiders trade John Gruden that year to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Raiders then match up against John Gruden and the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, and you can see the picture. Gruden's looking at Rich Gannon. Now, Tampa stomped on Oakland, no doubt about it. They won 48-21. The game was fully controlled. But anytime that you have a coach, and the year before you think that you're the team to beat, that you think that you're the team that's going to go, Rich Gannon gets hurt, and then you go ahead and you go up against that same coach in the Super Bowl and lose to him, it stings. And the fact that it was in a Super Bowl is the biggest reason why this is number 2. No surprise, number 1 was the one that I got by far the most votes in. Yes, it wasn't in a Super Bowl. It wasn't in a AFC championship game. But when you listen to Raiders players, especially Charles Woodson, and if you haven't seen the tuck rule segment with Woodson and Brady, listen to how painful the tuck rule was to Charles Woodson. I think every Raider fan knows it as well. We know it was a fumble. If you think it was a fumble, spam fumble down in the comments. There was like a minute 24 left to go. Raiders are up. Tom Brady tries to tuck the ball in. Definitely wasn't forward pass. Woodson hits the ball out. Raiders are celebrating. The Patriots thought they lost. Tom Brady even himself has admitted later that it's been a fumble. At least he did on his show that he was talking about it. And this is ultimately, I think, changes the entire way the NFL goes, because if that was an incomplete pass, I think the next year Drew Bledsoe takes back over for New England, and we never get the whole story of what Tom Brady is, and the Raiders go on to probably win the Super Bowl that year because, again, they were the best team in the National Football League. So here, guys, are my top 10 worst Raiders moments that I wish were a big April Fool's Day joke. Hopefully you enjoyed this segment. These are the type of shows that you're going to get more often on Locals because I like having a little bit more fun. Now, again, if you're watching this over on YouTube, hop on over to Locals and let me know what more type of content that you want to see at RaidersReport.locals.com. Before I end this show, the Raiders Report has always been about giving the nation a voice. It's always been about, what do you guys have to say? Because I'm a new Raider fan, and I want to learn more and more and more. And the only way that I can do that is by listening to y'all. So I know it hurts, and I know bringing up memories sometimes suck. But the only way that sometimes I feel like you can move on from those bad memories is talking about them. So let me know, what is the worst moment in Raiders history? Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your April Fools. And always remember, it's Raider Nation for life.